Hey guys, what's going on? Steve Cronin. Today we're going to talk about what role a doctor or physician plays within your biohacking adventure or your biohacking practice. That's coming up. Alright guys, so doctors, physicians, I am not one. I am a biohacker. What is a biohacker? What is a biohacking? Well, biohacking is the art and science of optimizing your physical and mental processes. It's about taking control of your own health and well-being and not relying on other people to do that for you. I learned this lesson in 2007 when I came down with chronic Lyme disease, and I reached a certain point where physicians were like, well, this is all we can do for you. And so I was like, okay, like it's time for me to become my own experiment and take charge of my own health and take charge of where I want to go and map out these goals and be a full-time researcher for myself. And that was really the birth of my biohacking practice. This is a decision that I made for myself, and I definitely did consult doctors before making the decision. I didn't use biohacking to treat a disease. That's not what biohacking is for. And when starting my biohacking practice, I definitely continued to rely on doctors for a lot of things, but didn't rely on one physician completely to control my entire experience. And that's really the point here, which is that physicians are a tool. They're people to help you. They're people that you hire, right? You pay them. They're people that you hire to help take care of you in very niche and specific areas, when really biohacking is you're taking control of, you're seeing like this grand vision for yourself and what you want to do and what your goals are and what you want to accomplish. So that is really going into the video here of how you use physicians and doctors to supplement your biohacking practice, right? So first thing you want to do is at this point, and I should make a video on this in the future, but you want to have your own biohacking goals set, whether they revolve around diet or mental performance, like something like focus. Biohacking can include a nootropic practice. I talk about nootropics a lot on this channel. But essentially, once you have your plan, you want to find a doctor that is a good fit. And this is the hardest part. This is the hardest part because a lot of physicians don't care, or about biohacking, I mean. And a lot of physicians don't want to have this type of relationship with the patient because it's not an easy one. It requires a lot of chatting, and in my experience with physicians, it's kind of like an in and out type of practice. Not saying all doctors are like that, but in my experience, that's been more often than not. After months and months of searching and going through a lot of physicians, I was very lucky to find one in Houston that I still see regularly, even though I live in New York City now. I fly down to Houston every couple months and I see this physician and we talk about what I'm doing and what my goals are. So what do you need a physician for? Well, unless you want to pay a lot of money using a company like Wellness FX, for like blood work, whether this is you're just getting like various well-being tests done, or even something like genetic testing. A physician's really helpful because assuming you have insurance, you can use the insurance with your physician to go ahead and pay for those tests, or at least cut the cost down significantly, your out-of-pocket costs for those tests. And so you need a physician for blood work. If you want to experiment with something like modafinil, I mean, at least in the United States, that is an RX only, a prescription-only drug, and so you need a physician to go through to get that done. My doctor will even give me homework because I have such a great relationship with her, and I spent many months trying to find the doctor that was a really good fit for kind of how I wanted to manage my ongoing health, especially with the whole Lyme disease experience. I mean, I needed someone long-term that I could go see, and that took a lot of time and research, but I finally found someone, and so she'll give me homework, and it's like, okay, you know, the role of glutathione in certain disease prevention. That's great. What doctor is going to give you some pages to read about glutathione? I mean, that's amazing. Here's a whole protocol on what to take to counter fatigue, and it has supplement recommendations and a bunch of literature and reference studies. And so when I go see my doctor, it's like sitting down and having a business meeting with someone, which is awesome. Like, that's exactly the kind of experience that I wanted, and so that's what I built for myself. So in my opinion, that's what a doctor's role in the biohacking practice is: someone to create a partnership with, someone to guide you, someone to order and interpret blood tests for you, and someone to consider prescribing you medication because you want to take that in a legal and safe environment. That's all for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like future biohacking videos, nootropics reviews, etc. And I will see you Monday. Take care.